Glenn asked me to speak here today because of how I came to be involved with Fathers Forever was different than most. The majority of the men in this program were ordered by the courts for non-compliance of their child support order. This breeds a certain level of resentment in them because most feel that they are doing the best for their kids already and don't need anyone to tell them how to be a father to their kids. The courts tend to not agree with that. So when your options are the program or jail, at least the smart ones choose the program. I was told about the program by my sister Vernita, who has known Glenn and worked with him in workshops in the past. She encouraged me to attend. And though I've never really been sure why she wanted me to come, I did, and I'm grateful that she did. You see, Fathers Forever gives men something that is not easily found in our society, context as to what their responsibilities as a father are. It provides a structure that shows these men how to handle the obstacles that they face from society as a whole and as a non-custodial parent specifically. But what is most important about the program is that it provides a place where men who share a common difficulty can share their feelings about their situation in an open, safe, and non-judgmental environment. A forum where their thoughts are not only heard, but they are valued. And of all these things I've learned in the past 6 months of classes, what sticks out most to me is that these men feel that there is little value placed on them in their roles of father in their children's lives. Well, let me say this to you straight out. Fathers have value in their children's lives. Let me say that again. Fathers have value in their children's lives. We live in a society that for some reason, when the parents of a child are no longer together, if they ever were, it's taken for granted that the mother is the most, if not the only one qualified to raise and guide that child. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to take anything away from all the mothers out there. Most do a fantastic job of raising their children. But for some reason, it seems that if you promote a father's ability to rear a child, it has to come at the cost of a mother's position in that child's life. Well, there is not a finite limit of parental influence that a child can be afforded. Both parents should be given an equal opportunity to mold their child into a productive member of society. I'm sure that there are those who may not agree with this. They'll say that the father has as much opportunity to be in the child's life as they want, and if they aren't, it's by their choice. That is true in some cases, but not in all. In some, there are other issues at play: access, legal, and financial issues. But mostly the issue is ability. Let's face facts. A lot of men with children don't know how to be a father because they never had one to teach them how to be one. Either a father was never there, wasn't there long enough, or they themselves had no idea how to be a father because they had no one to teach them how to be one. Some will say that this is just an excuse. To them I say, if you hand a man a pole and a pocket full of worms and send them out to the lake and tell them to catch your dinner, you better be prepared to go to bed hungry that night. Because on every level, a person cannot just be told what they have to do to provide. They must be taught at some point how to do it. Yes. And there are those out there who need to be shown how to be a provider. For some reason, a man, especially a father, who needs assistance is not someone who people feel a helping hand should be extended to. Most times, he is reluctant to ask for help or accept it when offered. Pride can be our worst enemy. Yeah. Now, for single mothers, the system is designed to provide all kinds of assistance: financial, housing, job training, child care, even parenting classes. Imagine if these same programs would be offered to the fathers. How much would that be to the benefit of their children? How much more value would it add to their lives? But instead, most of us feel that the only thing expected of us is to write a check twice a month and incarceration if we don't. Now, I know I'm simplifying the issue, but to me, it's really a simple problem with a simple solution. Men need help too. So let's start to give it to them. That's why a program like Fathers Forever is so important. Not because it can change the system, but rather because it teaches these men how to cope with the inequities of the system. It teaches us how to get past the anger and resentment that we might feel because of our situation and focus on that which is really the most important, our children. Because we fathers have values to bring to our children's lives, and if the system invests in our development as fathers, it only increases the value we bring to our children. There are some things that only a mother can teach a child, but in that same sense, there are some things that only a father can teach them. There are things that only a father can bring to the table. We are the owls that give grace, that grant wisdom to our children. We are the lions that will guard the entrance to the cave in which they rest. We are the bears that will wrap them up and keep them warm when it's coldest outside. We are the big dogs that chase and play with them, making them laugh till they can't breathe, but will growl and bite at any who intend them harm. When a father is given the opportunity to truly be a part of their child's lives, there are two things you are guaranteed to hear them say about their parents. Don't talk about my mom, and don't mess with my daddy because he's crazy. That's our job. Fathers Forever is an environment that promotes growth. Over time, those that choose to listen to what is being taught and are unafraid to face the truths about themselves that they will be confronted with will have no choice but to grow up, accept their responsibilities in a new light, and become better men for their experience. To paraphrase my friend Forrest Gump, I may not be the smart man, but I know that before you can be a better father, you must first become a better man. Thank you.